all you clout-chasing simps. This is Miko. I welcome you back to the episode of the TLT podcast. I am joined by the person who hates the world as much as I do.
Poker 2004 and what?
Okay, maybe hate myself as much as I do, so, yeah.
What?
What
are these negative projections I'm hearing?
Well, this tour started off on a bad note, so allow me to permeate some of that negative energy into this podcast. I also am really tired, so it's fine. Last time we
covered... It's okay. I probably got less sleep than you did.
No, I barely got any sleep. Okay,
really? How many hours?
Like 6.
I got 4. Oh. Shut up.
Okay, last time
I got less than 4, actually.
Okay, last time we covered round 1 predicts. This time we're going to cover round 1 recap and round 2 predicts. So round 1 didn't exactly get off to the right foot. We got a lot of people who left early on, actually lost a lot early on, and there are just some games that are there are some good games, but there were mostly pretty lame games.
A lot of sets that went into.
A lot of sets that went into. Not really. There were really no real standouts coming off, and I didn't really look at one player and thought, hey, that could be a nice guy going forward. But ultimately, it's just I guess the luck and the dependent of the draw. A lot of versatility tiers and a lot of very mid performances. It's like a first episode filler. Alright, so let's get to the game, shall we?
Okay.
First off, we have the round 1 matchup between Let's Rumble, Shall We? And Street Boom. I really thought that this would be a 3-game series, but unfortunately...
I have no idea why you thought that.
But fortunately...
I genuinely have no idea why you thought that. It was never going to be a 3-game series.
Fortunately or unfortunately, depends on how you look at it. It was a pretty easy domination for Let's Rumble, Shall We? For Street Boom.
And you didn't expect that?
No, I really thought Street Boom had at least a 1 fighting chance. I really thought that he could take a game off of him, just not get completely bodied like he did for this one.
Do we know who locked what in this set? Because, the tiers didn't favor Street Boom, I don't think.
It really didn't. And starting off here with this OU game really was the indicator of, oh yeah, this is going to be a Hellray-dominated series. So, yeah.
OU. So, you know how I said in the TLT chat that those who don't play a lot of Smogon tours, but play a lot of room tours, will probably play similarly to how they do in room tours in TLT. And, well... I feel like that didn't apply to most, but I think it definitely applied to Street Boom.
Because he used the same team that he used in regular room tours.
I don't know if that's the exact same team, but it's an OU Sun team, which he spams in OU room tours.
Well, it's a very common thing, and Hellray knew how to prep for that, especially because of his MVP, which is the Terra Fairy Raging Bolt, Okoing Hatren as you saw, and then Terra Fairying to beat Street's own Terra Fairy Raging Bolt. And even Walking Wake, losing only to the King Gambit's Iron Head midway through.
What?
What?
Walking Wake?
He sent
Iron Head?
No, I said the King Gambit's Iron Head. The Walking Wake, he just killed it in 1 hit to Thunderclap.
Yeah, but... What?
You misheard me. I said the King Gambit's Iron Head, or maybe I said it too fast.
No, it's just... King Gambit killed Walking Wake?
No, Raging Bolt.
You said Walking Wake, so I knew you misspoke.
Fine. Well, Hellray dominated the last few turns with the Great Tusk, killing the King Gambit with a Rocky Helmet, and Dragon Knight ended up being Torkoal and Roaring Moon to win the game in a very dominant fashion.
Yeah. And then I remember a colored name saying that Street Boom has a chance of taking Hellray and NU. No, that was the tier he's most doomed in.
Yeah, because Hellray is actually very experienced in the mid to lower tiers.
NU is one of Hellray's best tiers. You kidding?
Yeah, he's very dominant in that. I don't know why colored name think that, but Hellray is a mid to lower tiers player. He does NU and PU very well, and this is a very strong indicator of that. So he started off well here, using Registeel's body press to beat Sceptile, crippling that Terra Ghost Hitmonlee by toxicking it, and then later beating it with Slowbro Galar, and even threatening Minior's Shell Smash attempts. Street really wanted to hyper offensive this bitch, but he really couldn't get a proper setup to begin with. Also, Hellray's team was pretty bulky for the most part. Clear Smog.
It was bulky enough, yeah.
Clear Smog on Gastrodon really helped against the Minior very well, and Hellray knew how to switch it in and do setup and strat well. And he continued the momentum, from then on, with Espeon beating the Shadow Ball attempts by beating it with Iron Head, Infernape killing Chinchino, and then letting Minior die to Bramblegast's Poltergeist and Slowbro's Rocky Helmet, winning Hellray that game.
I don't understand how Street played this game.
He wanted to hyper offensive this bitch. I tell you, he wanted to get the game straight up done.
Yeah, he played amazingly passively for someone who wanted to do that.
He hyper offensive. He tried, but failed.
Heal his Hitmonlee for some reason.
You tell me why.
Heal his Chinchino instead.
I don't know why. I don't know why he chose to do that when that's clearly the sweeper that he intended to do.
Like, yeah, I know you don't want the Hitmonlee to be out on the glider, but nothing stops you from switching.
Nothing really does. Nothing really does stops you from switching there, but he just couldn't take the advantage.
Also, why did he hard switch out Meteor after it shell smashed and Gastrodon came in? Was he scared of Surf, I guess?
Maybe he was.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's probably what it was. It's just could have gotten a pretty nice hit on that. Instead, it was negative progress.
It was. It was very negative progress, which was very unfortunate. Maybe so, maybe so, maybe so. But that was the first game. Let's now move on to the next game, which is Color.
Their tiers were the last tier that wasn't played was Ubers, by the way. Maybe that's what Street locked.
Yeah, I think it was. I think if he was gonna take one set, it would probably be Ubers. But since they played NU next, and
I don't even see him taking Ubers.
Yeah, whatever. Next up, we had Colored Name versus Keshba. So their first tier was LC. LC was pretty interesting. After losing Toad School early on, Diglett just kinda wrecked for Colored Name. Became a really reliable asset, using the substitute to beat Mingfu, then using Trapinch to outplay Keshba's Earthquake attempt to kill it with Terra Blast. So it was using the Terra Flying Diglett very well to outdo the Earthquake attempt. Terra Blast killing it, losing only to the Scarf Gothita, which we have seen. Shellder then tried to Shell Smash sweep. However, the Marini Surf and Minfu taking its liquidation attempt prevented it from ever truly sweeping and only died to a knockoff. Gothita then lost to Tinkatink's Draining Kiss, winning the game for Colored Name. Okay, despite the fact that Colored Name best tier is LC. He was able to show that he is actually capable of playing it well against a very strong opponent in Keshba. So it's fine.
I don't know how strong LC is for Keshba, though, but it's definitely strong for Colored Name.
So it was very beneficial for him. It was very beneficial for him to get this tier in and get it locked so that he can, actively use it as sort of a jumping off point for him to dominate the rest of the game, which was very nice. Next up is OU. Colored Name netted the advantage by paralyzing Samurott with Dragapult's Thunder Wave and then fully paralyzing it to beat it with Hex, which was very nice. And then Terra Flying Raging Bolt started to outplay and stack the deck against Keshba, taunting Clodsire at very good turns and boosting itself with Calm Mind before Kesh eventually forfeited. So it was really just him losing to the mind games of Terra Flying Raging Bolt in this game.
No, there were no mind games to be had, Mikoi.
It wasn't really that easy to predict.
It was just straight up perfect into this matchup.
Wasn't that really easy to predict? The taunt, the Clodsire switch in was really easy to just, expect that.
No, he wasn't only taunting the Clodsire, he was taunting the Weezing, he was taunting the Clodsire. It was not much of a game of prediction. He didn't need to do that. That's how good this was into the matchup.
And it was very strong. It was very well dominated for Colored Name to bring it. It was a good prep. It was a good bring. And, Colored Name, despite going into this tier in this tour, going in as a C- tier player for some reason.
According to you. That was only according to you, I think.
But, he definitely proved himself. He definitely proved himself that he can win. And with this definitely proving himself to be quite the commodity. He wanted to impress, and winning into games against Keshba, who tends to be really favored in some aspects, tends to be not in some respects, is definitely a very good indicator for Colored Name. So I would like to see more of his potential going forward, and to see if my opinion ever increases.
Yeah, these were cool games. The prep was really good. He had really good brings. It's just, I don't feel like we saw the full extent of his actual playing skill,
Maybe he's someone. Maybe
I want to see. I want to see a game of his where we see the full extent of his playing abilities, like a longer game,
100 turn game for Colored Name.
I never said 100 turns. I just mean something a bit more back and forth that actually shows, playing skill.
All right, it could be it could be an unsung goat.
You know that.
Yeah, it could be an unsung goat. I'm very, very curious to see how they perform.
And I'm not saying he doesn't have playing skill. From what I've seen of him, he does. I just want to see the full extent.
Same here.
Understand?
Same here. Next up, we have one of the more unfortunate games of the series, and this one is only one of the ones that went to 3 games, but this thing was pretty bad, honestly. Excelsior versus Choice Bag and Kirim.
I knew it. I wasn't even looking at the matchups, but based on the description, I knew which one you were talking about.
Yeah, this series was wasn't great. It really wasn't. First off, we have LC, where the two started off evenly, I guess, with them trading off kills left, right, and center. Gothita seemingly looking the stronger by beating Mudbray with Grass Knot, and then Terra grounding to Oko Stunky with Terra Blast. That was pretty good.
Yeah, unique set. I've never seen that set before.
It was a pretty unique set, and a very unique bring, which...
A good set, to be honest.
which is very good. Very nicely prepped there. Axel's Toad School then outsped CBK's to beat it with Giga Drain, and Marini Terra Dragon to tank.
I genuinely wonder if it did. Because, like, what if CBK just used Spore or something and it just naturally moved slower because of it?
That's probably that's an investment issue. But yeah, the Minfu.
No, Mikoi, do you not remember its ability?
What?
Do you not remember its ability?
Toad School, Mycelium Might?
Yes.
Who remembers it, honestly?
Status moves have -1 priority.
Oh, that would be really funny. Oh, that would be really funny to bring then. Yeah.
What do you mean? They all have that.
I know. That is a really funny bring, and it's a really funny that it is a common set. Anyway, Marini Terra Dragon.
It's the only ability they have.
No, I meant Spore, not Mycelium Might. Alright, yeah, but...
That's not uncommon. A lot of them have at least one status move, even if it's not Spore.
Anyway, Marini Terra Dragoning to tank Infu's high jump kicks to poison it with Sludge Bomb was working in Axel's favor quite a lot. And then the final turns where Gawain mentioned that he nearly choked, which was Axel's Toad School using Rapid Spin to beat Gothita with Giga Drain. It was a pretty critical turn, which, Axel did very well in trying to predict that. If he lost, then, too bad for him. But yeah, he beat the Gothita very well, and then tanked the Sucker Punch from Stunky to beat it with Earth Power, winning the game for Excelsior. So yeah, that was game 1. Game 2 was very well. It went very well for CBK, and I'm glad that he got to at least had a redemptive arc in some capacity in this series, starting with this. With Yu, CBK netted the advantage by having Donphan's Sturdy take over and tank Latios' Draco Meteor, rapid spinning away the hazards and beating it with knockoff. Then, after a lot of hacks, there were admittedly a lot of hacks in this game. The Thunderwave missing and the Bleakwind Storm missing a lot was pretty unfortunate on CBK side. No, TBK side, yeah. Those were really unfortunate plays, but Cabalion did manage to get a paralysis on Quaquaval to tank the rapid spin, just enough to kill it with body press, and continuing the momentum from there. And then Tornadus was paralyzed by then thanks to the Bleakwind Storm miss. Ogerpon managing to crit Skarmory with Ivy Cudgel was also pretty lucky. Terra Rocking to beat the low kicks, and then Weavile finishing off Clodsire and Tornadus for the win for CBK.
Did you earlier say a Thunder Wave miss?
There was one. But yeah, yeah, this was despite, there were multiple turns of hacks, I'm glad CBK actually managed to get a somewhat redemptive, somewhat of a evening balance point, if you want to call it that way. And then PU was next. This tier got played a lot, PU. And this one wasn't very good for CBK, but it was very lucky for Excelsior. For example, netting off, but CBK did have some leeway into progress with Gastrodon's Earth Power against Skuntank, and while Axel counteracted with Cramorant beating Tauros, trading off the momentum back to his side. After Rotom struggled against Gastrodon, but managing a successful kill on Bombardier, Rhydon then used Swords Dance against a protecting Wochian and killed
I don't really see it as Rotom struggling against Gastrodon because, like, it's not like the Gastrodon could actually hit it.
It's not, but, you know, it just failed to kill it with Overheat. It wasn't getting, like, the clear enough damage range in order to kill it, I guess.
Yeah, but the Rotom wasn't concerned about that.
It really wasn't.
Because
No.
it has Pain Split, so, like, it's just for you to keep on, you know, nasty plotting, and the Rotom and the Gastrodon can just tick it down while getting rid of its stat boost, and it doesn't care. It'll just Pain Split it and get it nice and low.
Yeah. So here's the turn I was talking about. Turn 42, where Wo-Chien protected, and Rhydon got to set up Swords Dance, which was very nice. And then the subsequent turn afterwards managed to predict the Altaria switch in by killing it with Stone Edge. That was very nice. Nearly killing off the Gastrodon as well with Earthquake, I mean. But then Hoopa decided to crit kill the Belly Bolt on turn 47, losing.
You're missing what happened the previous turn.
Oh, a Belly Bolt avoiding Belly Bolt trying to toxic the thing, but got punished for it by getting crit killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bad stretch of unfortunate turns that went absolutely nowhere on CBK's side, and putting Excelsior into a clear position to win. It wasn't the best of wins, but, you know, it was the expected decision.
Result.
Yes. Next up, we have SVO. I'm thinking BLT again. Next up, we have Bacoa versus Valor, where Bacoa actually won in 3. This was one of the first.
What?
Oh, no, SV Valor won in 3. I don't know why Bacoa was bolded.
Wait. Oh, you're right. Why is Bacoa bolded on here?
SV Valor won. It was not Bacoa. Please fix that. Jesus.
Huh.
Anyway,
I'm gonna take a closer look at this now.
You don't have to.
Is everything else bolded correctly?
Everything else is bolded correctly, but that one. Anyway.
Huh. And that was like the first one played.
Hilarious.
How'd that happen?
Hilarious. Anyway, SV
like
Valor
literally played in the same day as the thread was posted.
SV Valor beat Bacoa, or How Play Pokemon, if you want to call it that way. So, game number 1 was OU, where, after a couple of turns, Valor netted the first kill by close combating the Tinkaton, using Great Tusk and utilizing Slowking's Future Sight attack 2 turns ago, gaining the advantage, with Rotom dying to it shortly afterwards. Bacoa then tried to get some progress in by having Great Tusk bulk off and kill off 2 of Valor's Mons, but then Terraflying Dragonite came in and killed it with return with Terra Blast. Then Valor then came up with a Headlong Rush kill on Okidogi and Kingambit, tanking Terra Dark's Kingambit attempt to beat it with Low Kick, and just won the game based off of that point. It was a decently played game by Valor.
Yeah, and sort of a game from How Play Pokemon.
You have no comment. It was just a game.
Well, I guess by a certain point there just wasn't much they could do, but like some of these plays are interesting.
Next up was NU, where it was Rain versus Trick Room. NU Bokoa used
More
the...
specifically, a Rain PU team versus Trick Room.
Why? I have no idea why Valor decided to go with PU against the NU.
After all, 5 out of 6 of these Mons.
Didn't you mention all of them were like PUZU?
5 out of 6 of Esfalor's Mons are ZU. The only thing that isn't here is Yuxi, and it's ZUBL.
Hilarious.
But wow, double Yuxi.
Double Yuxi indeed. He swept through Valor's Rain team with Copperaj's Play Rough, beating Poliwrath and Articuno. Honchkrow tanking Ludicolo's Ice Beam, and killed it with Brave Bird. And Terraflying DNC tanking Floatzel's last-minute sweeping attempts to beat it with Moonblast. It was very quick in how they handled it, but yeah, the fact that Bokoa got to protect is more bulky mons for the endgame, especially against Floatzel, that was, it was good. What more can you say? It was short but sweet. And the next one was...
Yeah, although I wish it was 2 NU teams versus each other, because, like, this is legitimately
PU.
A PU team that I've seen Esfalor use in PU.
Mm-hmm. Weird choice.
So I have to wonder if that bring was intentional or an accident.
Well, it's probably intentional. Maybe he just wanted to show off.
Yeah, there was no comment on bringing a wrong team, so I guess so.
Next up was doubles, where it was doubles. It was just doubles.
Oh yeah, because Esfalor actually choked in NU. Did you mention that?
No, but elaborate.
He didn't. She didn't wave crash the Diancie, which was terrifying for some reason. I understand why, but
I wanted to predict the Ice Spinner.
But in my opinion,
it was also you may be right, because he was.
I mean, Ice Spinner was never going to kill, so just pray it's not Terra Grass and just
You even Terra
Crash.
Watered. You even Terra Watered to try to get more damage in with Wave Crash. So why didn't he?
Well, they thought it would Terra Grass, but like Ice Spinner was still super effective versus Terra Flying, and that's all. And 44% is all it did. So at that point, you just hope it's not Terra Grass.
Okay. Okay. All right. Next is doubles, where Bokoa had the early lead here, netting with the Farigiraf, using Imprison to lock off Hatcherine's Dazzling Gleam attempt to beat it and Indeedee with Hyper Voice and Landorus' Earth Power.
Oh yeah, that was interesting, because that implies the Farigiraf is running Dazzling Gleam for some reason.
It is, and it's a very unique play to make, albeit getting killed by Terra Psychic Deoxys afterwards. Terra Psychic Deoxys, alright. Valor then counteracted, beating Landorus and Incineroar, and using Torkoal's Sun to mitigate Basculegion's attacks. And Ursaluna's Headlong Rush was able to beat the Terrafire Amoonguss, winning the game for SV Valor.
Yeah, that Deoxys is terrifying.
Terra Psychic Expanding Force.
I found it even funnier that it happened to be Sash.
Again, a very interesting sort of bring, but again, I guess I'll accept it.
Well, it's not about your acceptance.
I guess I'll accept.
It's not about that.
Yeah, I'll accept it, I guess. It's just
it ain't about your acceptance. No one cares if you accept it or not.
Whatever. Valor won. Fix the post. God damn it. Next up, is a 2-game series that I really wish it was a 3-game series, but Wesh versus Blood Ace. Wesh versus Blood Ace happened, and it was kind of a bodying, actually, if I remember. Or maybe it was just the first one. Maybe it was just the first one. Maybe it was just the first one that's really like made me think it was a bodying, because good God, this PU game went super strong on Pop's favor. Like very, very much so. He tanked the Terra Water Belly Boat's muddy water attempts very well with Mudsdale, and playing with Decidueye very riskily against Rhydon, switching into a what was it? A Stone Edge on turn 11. That was interesting.
Turn 11. Let's see.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Guess he wanted to predict rocks or something. I don't know.
But no, he was predicting earthquake, obviously.
Or earthquake, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, netting the first kill with Bombardier against Grimmsnarl was very nice. Then Toxtricity swept a bit, beating Rhydon and Primate after the latter's late game rocks attempt with Primate. I don't know why Blood Ace would want to start
that one either. I mean, like, good for getting rocks up, but was it worth losing the Primate?
It really wasn't, because you had a Lax in there.
Like, if anything, maybe kill the Toxtricity first.
Yeah, you just let that Toxtricity get at least one more free kill. Then Delphox ended off the end game with late game kills against Tauros and opposing Delphox, killing Bellybolt with Sight Shock at the end for Pap to just win. Well, it was kind of it was very strongly played on Wesh's part. It's not really a botting, it was just a very strong play. Yu was much better for Blood Ace. Yu was definitely much better for Blood Ace. It looked to be in the first.
I said I agree.
It looked to be very strong first because the Rotom burned the Ogre Pond with Will-O-Wisp, and then Nasty Plot Terra Water Hydrapple was doing big damage, big Draco Meteor damage against Skarmory and Latios for the kill. So it looked to be good on Blood Ace's favor, right?
Yeah.
But then on turn 15 or so, Weavile was sent out, and it got to set up the Swords Dance, and it went to low kick, and then Terra ghosted against the opposing Weavile to beat it with low kick and outsped it before knocking off and triple axling the rest of the competition for Wesh to just sweep and win.
In hindsight, I think it was not a good call to stay in with Hydrapple on the Latios to take that Luster Purge, because yes, you killed the Latios, but the Hydrapple ended up being too low to deal with the Weavile later, which could have been solved if he switched it and maybe sent in Tinkaton instead. Though I guess maybe Blood Ace was thinking of preserving Tinkaton for the Weavile, but it had low kick, so it didn't work out.
Didn't work out all that well in the end, and it ended up losing to that Weavile pretty hard.
Yes.
Next up, we have the Iron Pikachu losing to brain damage. Haver.
Why do you keep saying, yeah, Haver?
Well, I was right. PokeArt. I knew I
didn't realize Pika sucked in Devils.
Well, let's talk about that second, because the first game was actually played was LC, which Brain did have the advantage early on. You'd think Ipika would just slay this because Ipika's best tier is LC, but Brain had the advantage early on, beating Vullaby with Stone Edge and chipping Ipika's Terra Steel Mudbray with Gothita's Energy Ball numerous times before dying to its Earthquake. Then we saw the return of Terra Flying Diglett, OHKOing Stunky with Earthquake. Then Mean Fu killed Ipika's own with High Jump Kick, continuing Brain's momentum. Marini then took hits against Gurki's Woodhammer, allowing it to die via recoil, and Mean Fu was able to beat Chinchou, and Brain just won by that point. Any other thoughts?
Not really. This was solidly played.
It was very solidly played. Now you have a lot of things to say about doubles. You really had a lot of things to say about doubles after that fact.
Yeah. So admittedly, when watching the game back again, I see that Brain actually did play well.
He did play decently.
Although the term that people say was a good read wasn't even a read. It was actually a turn much earlier on that was an actual read that no one even mentioned.
So, Ipika tried to look strong in the beginning, setting up the Ninetales with Aurora Veil and Archeludon.
No, saying Ipika started strong is wrong.
Okay, he tried to set up strong, if you want, because he had...
No, because it was turn one that Brain actually got a good read,
which is the Power Gem against the Incineroar?
Faking out Incineroar into also Power Gemming. Because, I mean, normally you think the play is to fake out the Ninetales to stop it from setting up the Aurora Veil, and then, and then doing either Power Gem into that or the Incineroar, one or the other, well, Ninetales protected that turn, so they went for Fake Out into the Incineroar.
It was a good
read. As well as Power Gem.
It was a very good read. So,
that's another possibility.
Yeah, so that was pretty good. And then turn 3 came in. Goldango got to crit through Sinistra. And Brain capitalized by beating...
Oh yeah, that crit really sucked.
That crit really sucked. So that was very advantageous for Brain's part, which a lot of people didn't comment on, but yeah. Brain capitalized by...
also a good read, I think. It was either a weird play or a read. I'm not really sure which it was.
Brain capitalized by sludge bombing Ninetales to net the first kill, which is pretty good. Archeludon.
The sludge bomb on Ninetales. That was just.
That was detrimental.
That was a misplay.
That was detrimental because why would you sack your Ninetales if you had the chance to protect?
Why would you leave your Ninetales unprotected when Brain has Fake Out available?
He had the Iron Hands out. Which, if
any, I think the best play there would
Double Protect?
Double Protect, yes.
Double Protect.
And then either send in, actually, I'm trying to think what would be more ideal there. Well, all I know is that the Ninetales definitely should have been protected that turn.
He could have preserved it for the end game,
then either set up on the... No, wait, not set up. It's already set up. Then maybe attack the following turn and switch out Archeludon for Sinistra.
Would have been very much more helpful in that regard to preserve the Ninetales, especially for things like Landorus and Pelipper and Rillaboom.
Because like the
and
Ninetales
Tornadus.
would gain health back, and like there's no way the Landorus would stay in, right?
No, absolutely not. It was going to attack and attack and attack again. And then here comes the stupid play. Here comes this one. A lot of people were like, "He just played better. He just played better." No, Ipika misplayed.
We're about to talk about the play where everyone called it the goated read, when Brain just made the obvious play, and Ipika did a stupid.
He did a stupid because Archaludon then had the stamina boosted. However, Ipika failed to capitalize by having all this massive defense in to try to go for body press. Instead, it let Kyurem die.
The ideal play here, I think, was to have both Mons attack.
Double target the Iron Hands.
Because, like, what are the odds that Brain stays in with Lando and allows it to die? It's either he protects or switches it. That Lando is not attacking this turn with a Kyurem on the field.
Nope.
So the Archaludon is safe.
Yeah, he really should have done
not to mention, if you look, all the defense boosts on the Archaludon and the defense drops on the Iron Hands,
it was prime.
Should outspeed body press kills.
It was prime for Iron Hands to die. But Ipika protected on turn 10, not allowing the thing to get off that free kill on Iron Hands, instead letting his Kyurem die.
Yeah, and like, if anything, Brain made a risky play here because, like, he left Iron Hands perfectly vulnerable to body press, but I suppose he may have figured that Ipika wouldn't leave the Archaludon out in the open to possibly take an Earth Power, but like, I don't think you want to lose your Lando now, do you?
Of course not. That thing's a monster.
So I have to wonder if Brain was aware of the potential danger that the
Archaludon had.
That the Iron Hands could have just died there, and Ipika would actually be in a better position then.
No.
Not like in the overall game, but better.
Much later, yeah.
Better than what actually ended up happening.
So Pelipper and Lando freely beat Sinistcha and Archaludon respectively, then leaving Okidogi to just die to Hurricane from Pelipper. And that's it. Ipika misplayed that very badly.
Yeah, and like I said, the early crit on Sinistcha also hurt because it prevented it from being more utilized.
And also the Ninetales should have been preserved, but that's my main gripe. My Pokeart went way more on the Archaludon misplay. But yeah, that cost Ipika very heavily, and Brain ended up taking the win. Good for Brain. I mean, it definitely showed that he can make the obvious plays when he sees him right fit. However, it makes Ipika look worse. I'll be critical. I'm sorry. If I see something that's wrong, I will criticize for it. So yeah, don't be expecting modesty from me. Next up, we have.
Yeah, this was just Brain played well. I think not quite as good as most people are praising him for.
People definitely overhyped
praise. I don't think he's equal to how he played, but I do think Ipika also just misplayed this.
Yeah.
Plus the crit. The crit really did suck.
Next up, we have Arcanine 1929 versus Ryusoken. Again, I'm starting to see a trend of people saying, "Oh, this person should be more higher tiered than someone." In this case, Ryosoken should be higher tiered than most. I don't know, Chief. This game. I don't know, Chief. This game was pretty bad for Ryosoken. Arcanine just kind of.
All I wonder is what the hell did he bring?
He brought some really weird shit. I will admit, he did bring some weird shit.
I think everything in Ubers is really weird shit now because Miraidon's gone.
Well, people want to experiment without a Miraidon, so I guess that's good.
People disliked it, I guess. Thought it was too broken.
Too much. Too much Miraidon hate.
And yeah, kinda is too much, cause like it has quite a bit of variety with sets it can run, and it gets to the point where even its biggest counter, Ting Lu, isn't quite enough to stop it because that has no natural healing.
Bold take, but if anyone tries to use a physical Miraidon set, I would be more than happy to bring it back. Alright. Next up,
no.
So again, going back, Ryosoken versus Arcanine. Ryu started off well with crits against Scale Shot Koraidon and killed Landorus with Flare Blitz. However, Arcanine counteracted by killing it in return with his own Koraidon and paralyzed Terapagos with Arceus Fairy. Arc Fairy then Terra Watered, beating Zacian by tanking its Wild Charge attempts, recovering and beating it with Judgment, and Kyogre Oko's Flutter Mane with Origin Pulse.
Zacian ultimately died to recoil while hitting a low roll on the Arceus that had it been maybe a little higher, the Arceus would have died too. It just so happens really low roll on the turn. On the turn, it died.
Yeah, 52% on turn 19 was really bad.
What? No, it only did 47.
Oh, no. I'm talking about a previous turn. Yeah, 47 on the...
I'm talking about the turn it died. The Zacian died. It only did 47. It needed, like, 52 to kill, I think.
Yeah, turn 23. Yeah, Calyrex Ice then almost reverse swept Arcanine. He nearly choked. He really did nearly choke towards the end with Calyrex Ice being around. Origin Pulse doing a lot there. Tried Terra Firing to predict Flare Blitz against Koraidon. However, Arcanine thought that Outrage was the better play of the two, so he used that and won.
It wasn't really, there wasn't really much to try and do by that point, because like it was his last mon, not like he had terrored yet, so like you might as well
try to predict something, anything.
Like if he just so happens to Flare Blitz, you win. If he doesn't, you lose, so why not?
It's the trade-off that matters. PU was next. Arcanine started off well, Terra Grounding Frostmoth to Oko Belly Bolt with Terra Blast, albeit getting tricked by Grimmsnarl's Lagging Tail the very next turn. Yes, there was a Grimmsnarl Lagging Tail set that had happened.
Which is cool.
Which beat Frostmoth, at least. It really hampered it. Managing to kill Gastrodon with Terra Blast. Then it seemed Ryosoken had the advantage after that, using the Terra Grass Tauros to beat Decidueye with Flare Blitz. Lycanroc killed Florges and Frostmoth. However, the Gastrodon ended up taking the final hits against Grimmsnarl and Lycanroc to be able to beat it, even taking a nasty-ass Trailblaze, but...
I have to wonder what the calc was for how much Moonblast did versus Tauros, and if going for like something like a Trailblaze would have been better, and then Flare Blitzing.
Right, that was a pretty interesting turn of events.
I don't know if that would have made any difference. I'm just curious if it would have made any difference based on how much Moon blasted.
It probably would or wouldn't. So yeah, good job for Arcanine. Good for Arcanine. Good win for him. Let's now move on to probably one of the quote-unquote bigger surprises, even though I really don't think it is. PokeR 2004 beating Panther.
Well, it was surely a big surprise. It was certainly a big surprise to almost everyone who predicted this week, because the only ones to predict me winning were you, Colored Name, and I suppose if we're counting it, the pick.
So first play was doubles, and you were very scared because we all know what Panther's bread and butter is. And looking at the team,
yes, it's his bread. It's very much his bread and butter.
And looking at the team itself, it was threatening. It was very threatening, and it looked pretty strong in the beginning.
Yeah, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
So yeah, you didn't. You freaking. It definitely is self-evident with these first few turns, where you double targeted the Iron Hands who Terra Ferried, and it basically blocked your Draco Meteor.
Doubles isn't my forte this gen, because like I'm not super familiar with the meta, like. And a lot of things run a lot of different sets and a lot of different Terras that how can you possibly be prepared for all that? Like, you'd have to know the tier really well to be able to know all these Terras, I think.
And the Terra Fairy Iron Hands definitely got you with the trying to do a double against the the Iron Hands, but Raging Bolt Draco Meteor didn't hit. Landorus did barely enough damage from the Stomping Tantrum, and then you were losing, quote unquote, for the most part, because Armor Tail also like blocked Thunderclap, so there's no priority from you.
I forgot.
So there was no priority from you. So you were just basically losing to this Iron Hands. If you weren't careful, you could have easily lost to this Iron Hands. However,
no, thing is, I was I wasn't doing too well at the beginning, but it's not as though I wasn't careful. I do have experience playing through Trick Room, even when I'm not running it, like playing to get the hell out of it. I mean,
and you definitely showcased that with the second half of this game, because preserving Chi-Yu.
There was one particular play I think I made that ensured that was like the turning point.
Okay, yeah, I think I know what you mean, because the Chi-Yu then came in, protected.
Also, yeah, I wasn't aware that the Iron Hands had clear amulet. I thought I would just, intimidate it.
Yeah, it's fine. Most people.
So Rillaboom might live, right?
Well, again, I must bring up that the Chi-Yu, you did well in preserving the Chi-Yu, getting that defense seed up. And then you Terra Ghosted to prevent Iron Hands from doing any more damage.
No, you see, the real turning point of this game...
I know what it is.
It's turn 7, actually.
Oh, you think so?
Yes, because that was when I really started to think hard, because, like, I knew if I got this play right, I could still win. And I did.
Yeah, you...
I was thinking, I was actually praying. I was praying that he wouldn't attack my Landorus this turn. And I was thinking, surely he goes for Chi-Yu, right? Surely he will go for Chi-Yu. Because that is a threat.
That is a huge threat that he saw. And the Protect definitely helped.
He probably doesn't see Landorus as a threat because, like...
It did damage.
He probably knows it's a Scarf Landorus. What's it gonna do here?
Also, Farigiraf was more than enough to beat the Landorus, especially with that Hyper Voice turn.
Supposedly, yes, but like...
It was very
so yeah, I knew. If he if he attacks into the protecting Chiyu and I successfully U-turn on the Farigiraf, I'd be in a prime position.
And you did, because Glamora got to kill off the Farigiraf. You got to set up the nasty plot.
I was begging so hard he didn't attack Landorus, and then I got to successfully U-turn on the Farigiraf and finally got into the position I wanted to be in.
And this was definitely the position you came to do, and then I was thinking to myself, okay, if she can get this right, she wins. And you got it right. The heat waves did not miss.
I wasn't totally sure what he would do in this turn, but I figured odds are he's gonna attack the Chiyu if anything. Or he just leaves his iron hands wide open too. Like, I guess it makes sense why he protected, because you don't want to be a non-assault vest iron hands when there's a Glamora and a Chiyu on the other side.
True.
That's very dangerous, because, like, I'm running Sludge Bomb here.
True.
So, I guess Penter probably thought I would double attack the iron hands, but, like, again, I had to think hard this turn, because I'm like, do I Sludge Bomb the iron hands, or don't I? But then, so my original doubles mindset kicked in. I'm like, no. The Farigiraf is the biggest threat here. I cannot allow Trick Room to go up again. I will lose if that happens.
Again, notable turn is turn 10, where the Tornadus play that, yes, he did set up Tailwind right before then. However, I feel like you had the more beneficial Tailwind, because
and then turn 9, I fully expected he would target Glamora, so I was happy. I was happy when he did, because I'm thinking, all right, now I get to set up the Tailwind. Thanks for targeting that.
And then the more beneficial Tailwind came into play. You got off the you got to kill off the Tornadoes, but you did manage to get off the beneficial Tailwind up.
Again, I was very happy because he had already set up Tailwind. Once I set up Tailwind,
you would be guaranteed to be faster at least for one more turn, because you had Tailwind up.
Yes, I would have I would have more of an advantage at the end if it came down to that.
So, and then of course the final few turns, the heat waves did not miss. Thank God it did not miss, because if one of those heat waves missed, you would have lost big time, especially towards this final end game with Ursulina Blood Moon out. Because oh boy, if the necessary heat waves miss, then Blood Moon can just easily set up on you and you just lose.
And oh my gosh, I am so glad that he never attacked the Lando on turn 7. Because, like I said, I was hoping for the U-turn, so to get Farigiraf low. And, oh, thank goodness I kept it in the back, because otherwise the opposing Chiyu looked hella scary.
So yeah, Chiyu was very beneficial, and that endgame definitely proved that you had the endgame down pretty much locked.
Yeah, it's amazing what just 2 turns... It's amazing what getting right just 2 turns can do in doubles. It's so position heavy.
And you did get the better off position.
Yeah, and he kind of allowed it to happen, unfortunately.
Then NU came next, which was much cleaner.
Oh, Mikoi.
What?
Mikoi, did you know that this team I used... you probably knew this, but I don't know how many people knew this. I knew. This is what I was going to use a few months ago for BLT when I was matched against Penter, which didn't happen. This is the team.
And I'm glad you got to showcase that off. And it's against Penter too, who was the intended opponent, so... Yeah,
funny how it still matched up well, even though it was prepped months ago, and Penter Scout had...
significantly
kind of changed since then.
It grew by the time you play, so yeah. Yeah, so that was nice. NU was next, and this one was a lot more cleaner than the doubles game. With the doubles game, it was very it was very like dicey on who would win. It was,
Yeah, doubles was interesting because I was fumbling so hard at the beginning. It felt
it was looking very
but then
bleak for me.
then I saw the path and took it.
Yeah, and so yeah, Penter did look kind of strong in the beginning, using Slowbro Geller to beat Chinchino. Then you were
Beating Chinchino never makes anyone strong in the beginning because it's meant to just die.
well, your particular Chinchino set was meant to be a little bit more useful.
It's meant to be the lead, actually. It's meant to just lead, deal with hazard setter leads as well, or just mess with things that want to do something.
And then
it doesn't really work for bulky stuff that attacks it.
So yeah, the turn then things became a little scary with the Terra Ghost Earthworm. It blocked the close combat.
Happy to see that.
The close combat attempt was pretty bad, and also the Yuxi got critted, which I would have loved to see Yuxi perform more, especially because you brought an offensive Yuxi.
Yeah, it's fine because the way I was told to use this team, I was given a rundown. I think that was very helpful. I was told that either the Yuxi and Screamtail will usually be the cleaners, and usually one will just kind of die and make way for the other. And
in true fashion, with that rundown, that was perfectly executed here, because Screamtail ended up becoming the MVP of your game using the Terra Normal, and then boom bursting the Slowbro Galar in one shot, which I immediately think, okay, she's going to win. She's going to win in this situation because the Flygon wasn't loaded dice. It was it wasn't Choice Scarf Flygon. It was loaded dice Flygon.
I was getting a little confused at how he was starting to play.
It was very evident, because I think he knew he lost. I think he knew he lost from you boosting up Calm Mind and you boom bursting the Slowbro enough for the kill.
Yeah.
So I think that was very evident.
When I first terra'd the Screamtail, I was sort of debating on whether to do it, because
I think it was enough.
Because I was thinking, what if the speed gives away what set it is, and he predicts my Terra? What if I don't Terra and he just heavy slams it? So I figure, you know what? Odds are, if he's staying in, he's heavy slamming.
Okay.
I'm Terra and Calm Minding.
And then you avoided the scale shot, which was very nice, and then boom burst to kill Flygon.
No, I didn't avoid the scale shot.
No,
the scale shot just didn't do crap.
And then boom burst killed Flygon from then on. And then turn 15.
Yeah, I knew once I got to +2, it swept everything. Well, actually, it didn't sweep Serena. But I got scared when that lived, but he did.
But he did use a weird move on it. Rapid spin?
Why did he rapid spin?
What?
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, you saw I put that question mark in the chat. Yeah. Because I didn't understand that at all. Like, why not Power Whip?
Why not High Jump Kick?
Any other attack you might have?
It carries High Jump Kick,
that actually has a chance to kill it. And it's not like rapid spinning will make you outspeed.
Because you have I'm
a goddamn Screamtail with 1.5 speed right now.
And also you were mind played a little bit with the boom burst versus the psychic noise, when you should have just went for psychic noise regardless. For Orthworm.
Sorry, what was that?
The Orthworm. You kept boom bursting against it.
What do you mean? He kept switching it in.
Well, when you could have done Psychic Noise just to get it out regardless, and then Boom Burst the rest to win.
Well, sure, okay. The only time where your point actually stands is on Serena. I could have just Psychic Noise that.
But Psychic Noise does less. I thought Boom Burst was the better play there.
No, I mean after I Boom Bursted it
and
Rapid
after you
Spin.
Boom Bursted. Okay.
I could have just Psychic Noised it there.
Yeah.
Because afterwards Earthworm came in, healed a little, Earthworm comes out, and Serena dies, Oricorio comes in. You see, Boom Burst just straight up kills Oricorio, so why not? Then Earthworm comes in. But yeah, once that Screamtail set up, I'm like, he can't win.
He cannot win.
I have this.
So yeah, she won.
On preview, I thought, I think Screamtail can just sweep here.
So yeah, again, PokeArt likes playing clutch, and the way that she clutched those 2 games in DOU and NU really shows you how capable of a player
NU was not a clutch.
No, you dominated there, but doubles definitely you were clutching that one. So
yeah, that's a clutch. NU wasn't.
So
I knew what I was doing.
Hopefully this proves to you guys that PokeArt is severely underrated. I think in this pool, I think PokeArt is one of those underrated players, so you may want to watch out for her if she.
I also just prepped well, I think.
You did. It was very evident that you were prepping hard.
Especially in the last. In the last
minute before you actually get to play. Yeah. All right. Next up, we have Terracotta beating Vaporeons in not a very close game. Honestly, I think Terracotta just kind of bodied Vaporeon.
Yeah, hopefully I don't get that same treatment later this week.
Well, maybe not to the extent of what Vaporeons had to suffer in round 1, but
wow, thanks.
You should be scared. Well, you should be scared, woman. So, first one was Ubers, where Terracotta's Lunala started netting the advantage, using agility to outspeed Glamora, and despite getting the poisoned off from Mortal Spin, beat it, and O-Code, actually, the Ho-Oh with Meteor Beam, and chipping Kyogre before dying to its Origin Pulse. A very strong first couple of turns, and really indicates to show you how good Terra is at Ubers despite not playing a lot.
More like
recently.
How good of a Mon he was using to start things off, and also that how perhaps inexperienced Vaporeons might be in this tier, because did he not know that Lunalas tend to run Power or Meteor Beam, and he just let the Ho-Oh die?
Yeah, I guess not. Again, I guess not. So,
although I don't know what much, if he could really, I don't know what he would do otherwise. I don't know what the calcs are for neutral attacks into Ho-Oh, but so if he switched in Necrozma Duskmane into the Meteor Beam, for example, how much would Ho-Oh take from a Moongeist Beam?
Not very much.
I don't know how much Ho-Oh would take because I don't know the spread.
Anyway, the Terra Electric Koraidon that just kind of cleaned under screens. Grimmsnarl got to set up screens, and then Terra Electric Koraidon bulked up, Drain Punch, Flame Charge, just did the rest to beat all of Vaporeon's team from then on, winning the game for Terracotta. So that was good. Monotype was next, and again, this wasn't very close because Archaludon just kind of wrecked shop against Vaporeons, critting the critting the Primarina before killing it with Thunderbolt, taking advantage of Ogerpon's Swords Dance attempt to beat it with Draco Meteor. And Scizor managed to beat Greninja by taking its Hydro Pump attempt to kill it with Trailblaze. Skarmory finishing off Barraskewda to tank its liquidation.
Wait, Hydro Pump?
Greninja against the Scizor. Oh no, Surf.
It was Surf.
It was Surf.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't misremembering anything. I was just thinking, wasn't it Surf?
It was Surf. So he got to kill it with Trailblaze, and then Skarmory finished off Barraskewda to win the game. Again, it wasn't very close. Terracotta outplayed Vaporeons.
You know, unrelated, but it's very funny to me, how many Mons run Surf in this gen. And I know it's because Scald is gone.
Scald is gone.
Most Mons, but it's still funny how
Surf is good.
Surf is
reliable.
You never see Surf much in previous gens.
Nowadays it's just very good because it's just been that reliable move that everyone seems to overlook because Scald exists, because Hydro Pump exists. Surf is just that reliable.
Yep. And I don't know, it's just funny how much it's used versus how much it wasn't used in the past.
Next up we have...
It's always been there, but it was not used very much in the past, but more modern gens.
It's true. Next up we have Polio Ariosto beating EQ and Crit in 2. Really weird sets were brought as expected from someone like EQ and Crit. He brought some really weird sets. First off, you credit to him, I guess, for looking stronger in the first half of this OU game. The Smackdown...
Yeah, he kind of choked, I think.
The Smackdown into Earthquake to kill Polo's Landorus was pretty nice. Then beating Samurott after taking its Aqua Jet. And even Moltres got to burn the Iron Valiant with Flamethrower. And then he started choking right around the second half, where he knocked off Moltres' heavy duty boots. He let that thing get knocked off, allowing Pecharunt to stay in and Toxicate in return, and basically unallowed Moltres to come back in because it was the heavy duty boots was knocked off, and he didn't have a way to deal with any more hazards because Corviknight was gone. So
yeah, I sort of get why he allowed it to get knocked off. I don't know if there was any really good switch into the Iron Valiant, but
he burned it.
Getting that knocked off was not good.
Yes. And yeah, the King Gambit then crit killed the Blaziken with Sucker Punch before Terra firing to kill the Iron Valiant. And then Roaring Moon netted the final kill against the Terra Fairy Raging Bolt with Earthquake to win the game for Polio. And then LC was next, and this was a mugging. First off, EQ's Volibite tried to become useful early on, tanking Diglett's Rock Blast well and doing substantial damage to Mienfoo, taking its U-turn well before dying to Polo's Volibite. EQ's Diglett tried, I guess, to become useful, beating Toedscruel with Rock Blast and Terra Grounding to kill off the Mienfoo. The Mewtwo. But EQ soon lost that momentum with Marini getting crit killed by Volibite on turn 36, followed by Diglett's Rock Blast missing to get killed by in the next turn. So that was really an unfortunate couple of turns there that allowed EQ and Crit to get mugged later on in the game. Terra Poison Glimmet then finished off Toedscruel with Sludge Wave, winning the game for Polo. Had that Diglett hit the Rock Blast, would he have won?
No.
Yeah, I doubt
because
it.
the Scarf Glimmet would have cleaned.
Yeah, I doubt that. I doubt it would make a difference either. So yeah, good job for Polo for preserving that Glimmet. Next up, we have Batty beating Seru. Holy
I only saw this game today, actually.
Holy crap. Batty played very well. I think, at least. Batty definitely outperformed Seru here. And Seru just, I guess he just wasn't feeling it that day. Because I don't think Seru played that well.
Seru brought a weird team to OU, to be honest.
The Sun team. With Brooke Bonnet.
Yeah, with Slitherwing and Brooke Bonnet.
Nice use of Paradox, I guess. Dragapult, after Dragapult was bounced back Will-O-Wisp by Magic Bounce, it netted the first kill by killing Hetren with Hex. How funny that the status mon actually got the first kill off on the one who did the statusing.
I guess so.
But netting Batty the advantage. Seru then tried to outperform towards the middle part, using Ninetales to kill Batty's Hetren with Weather Ball. And after being red carded by Glamora, Great Tusk managed to kill the Dragapult with Headlong Rush. Garchomp was then placed in a pretty good position, I'd say, beating Brute Bonnet via Scale Shot and gaining speed to beat Ninetales before losing to the Walking Wake, leaving Slitherwing to lose to Resto Chesto Zamazenta with Body Press, winning the game for Batty.
Yep.
Yeah, good game for Batty there. LC was next. It's the one Seru locked, I think.
Which, I find that surprising now.
Yeah. Batty looked the stronger, though, from the start, using Fungus to outspeed Seru's own Fungus multiple times to do damage with Sludge Bomb, then critting Stunky with Magnemite's Volt Switch. And then, after Minfu's Fake Out beat Smell Smash Smelder.
Smell Smash Smelder, yes, my favorite LC staple. Smell Smash Smelder.
So Batty then continued the momentum using Magnemite's Volt Switch to trap and beat Tinkatink. I don't know if it was intentional or not. I assume it was because Magnet Pull is good.
I don't think it was Magnet Pull. I think they usually run Analytic.
Yeah, they do run Analytic most of the time, but like I was secretly hoping that it would be a trap against the Tinkatink.
I don't know.
So yeah, and then you mentioned a really weird bring by Seru, the Terra Grass Torchic. Which was...
Yeah, the standard Torchic set is...
Terra Psychic.
It's Terra Psychic. Which actually swept here, I think, if it was the standard set.
Yeah, I think it sweeps too, unless Vullaby
at least by the time it came out, I think it would have.
Yeah, Vullaby was already dead, so Terra Psychic Torchic would have just been able to sweep it. But no, it died to a Sludge Wave from Glamora, killing Fungus with Sludge Bomb on turn 51, causing Seru to forfeit, winning the game for Batty. Yeah, you look strong, Batty. You look strong.
Quite. But yeah, why Terra Grass? What's that for?
What is that for? I don't know.
I mean, is it for Mudbray?
Probably is for Mudbray. If I had to guess.
Yeah, I don't know what it's for.
All right.
Hell, I've even seen like Terra Ground Torchic before. I've not seen Terra Grass. I mean, in theory, it should make sense because it covers rock, water, and ground. But the thing is,
it's not good defensively. It's not very good defensively.
that there isn't exactly an abundance of rock, water, and ground types that don't get dealt with Fire Blast or Terra Psychic.
Yeah, Terra Psychic is still the
there's Toad School, there's Toad School, which that gets dealt with Fire Blast. There's Marini that gets dealt with by Terra Psychic. There's Diglett that gets dealt with Fire Blast. Rock types don't exist.
So it's an iffy type, Terra type.
Yeah, the only thing it really, I can really see it covering is like Mudbray, maybe Shelder, but like Shelder folds to every special attack, so like folds.
Yeah. Alright, next up, are we ready to get the shit kicked in? Are we ready to roast the ever-living fuck out of these 3 games?
Uh-oh.
LCAP versus One Last Kiss happened, and it was one of, if not the most just baseless luck games I have ever seen. And this is coming. So yeah, this was the most RNG-based series in this week so far. Starting off with RU, where, well, I don't know if One Last Kiss checked his team or not, but that is not an unaware Quagsire.
Yeah.
That is not an unaware Quagsire. It took a lot from CC Terrakion, so... So, yeah, despite getting burned as well by Will-O-Wisp, Bisharp was still able to clean through Chestnut by flinching it a couple of times. There's that RNG luck. There's that RNG luck coming in, and even got to chip the Talonflame with Sucker Punch before dying. The final turn saw Slowbro beat Mousehold and Chansey beating Ninetales. However, Armarouge just had a better matchup against the Slowbro, winning the game for LCAP.
Yep.
Also did a substantial amount of damage. Also Terra Fairy, so that's good. Double.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe One Last Kiss shouldn't have let Chansey die.
He shouldn't. It was very early on. He let Chansey die way too early.
What? Chansey died at the end.
Okay, maybe it would have preserved it.
Not the end, but the end game.
The end game, yeah. If he was his last mon, yeah.
It wasn't his last mon, it was his second last mon. Let me go to when it died to the Ninetales.
You think you should have switched in the Slowbro against the Ninetales?
No! I'm just saying he should have healed instead of stealth rocked.
Turn 30.
Yes.
Yeah. I would say so, because Life Orb would have killed Ninetales, and Chansey would have lived.
Yeah, and then the Chansey could,
Stolen Wall.
It could seismic toss the
Stolen Wall.
The armor. No, I don't think it would have won unless because if that thing was Psyshock, then Chansey just lost anyway.
Stolen Wall, Chansey. Alright.
Not if it was Psyshock.
Not if it was Psyshock, yeah. Doubles was next, and OLK played this a little better.
It wasn't an issue of how he played in the previous game for the most part. It's just the hacks and not having an unaware Quagsire.
Well, here's the comeback from One Last Kiss, at least for this. Taking out Chin-Pao immediately, Landorus dying to his own Chin-Pao's Ice Spinner was pretty neat. Glamora also got to set up the toxic spikes for hazard control. Good hazard control. King Gambit looked threatening with Glamora activating the Defiant and bringing it down to Sash level. That was really bad. But Ogrepon made up for it by using Follow Me and Taunt. He played that extremely well against the Rillaboom's Grassy Glide attempts, and Terra Fairy Goldango was able to beat it, while Gouging Fire suffered 2 Toxic Spikes damage. OLK then took out Rillaboom's using Dazzling Gleam Goldango, leaving Gouging Fire to die to poison. Winning LOK.
I'm not really sure why LCAP didn't fake out the Goldango after it Terra Fairy'd, and he could have.
He could have taken it.
He could have faked it out.
Mm-hmm. Guess not. Guess he knew he lost.
Well, yeah, he did pretty much lose at that point, yes.
And then
Follow Me was a lifesaver in this game for OLK.
Oh, definitely. You utilized that shit to a maximum. And then
yeah, because it stops Sucker Punch.
And then Yu happened. Oh boy. Or one last kiss here. LCAP did have the advantage here because once he removed Skeledirge's heavy duty boots for later parts of the game, I thought, okay, I don't think Skeledirge is coming back in unless LCAP makes a mistake or something. Because, yeah, that thing just couldn't get back in and couldn't be safe. He set up his Iron Jugular as well, LCAP as well. Terra Grounding to avoid Tinkaton's Thunder Wave attempt was good, forcing Latios to Terra Steel to take it out with Surf. And then turn 18 just kind of sealed it because Greninja got off the Surf, but Tinkaton missed the Thunder Wave, and the two pressed on, with Latios taking out Okidogi with Luster Purge, and Okidogi taking out Greninja with Close Combat. So you'd think, oh, OLK's got the advantage here. No, because LCAP had an Ogerpon in the back, a very healthy Ogerpon, in fact, because after it did the Ivy Cudgel to beat Latios, the Close Combat, he clutched it with Sturdy to beat the Okidogi with Stomping Tantrum, then killed the Skeledirge with a crit Ivy Cudgel for the win.
Not that crit mattered, though.
Not that crit mattered. It did not matter, but it was still unfortunate.
It was salt in the wound.
The RNG God has claimed a life. One of the favorites. Next up, we have Taking Notes Kinda versus Geov 97 in 2. Yeah, we were very confident in Geo for this one. Unfortunate that she lost. But she didn't really exactly play great. At least not to the level I expect her to play.
Yeah, I think that was partially to do with how her week had gone and how much she had prepped. To my knowledge, she did not get a lot of prep time in.
So this was a slapdash of a team that she made?
It's not that it's... She had stuff going on in real life. She didn't get the time to prep properly.
I guess that makes sense how the team wasn't as good as it could have been, because Elekid tried to become useful early on. However, Gothita's Shadow Tag prevented it from ever truly getting to switch out, and not having Volt Switch as well was kind of detrimental, I think. But yeah.
What do you mean not having Volt Switch?
Well, she didn't use the Volt Switch against the Gothita. Just went in and went for the Psychic.
It outsped!
Alright, it did outspeed. Yes, it was Scarf
Gothita. It was literally Scarf.
It was Scarf Gothita. Never mind.
It was definitely running Volt Switch, Mikoi. They all do.
Yeah, good. But yeah, Diglett was then outplayed by TNK's constant switching, kind of crippling Geo's momentum from that point on because she tried to earthquake the Gothita. She tried to Stone Edge the no, it's not Stone Edge, Rock Blast the Lullaby, but she couldn't do it. She couldn't get the right necessary predicts to let her do that, and TNK just completely outswitched her. Yes, she got to kill the Meanfu, but she died to Scarf Gothita. So Meanfu then tried to become useful on her side, swords dancing and killing TNK's Mons before dying to Villabai's Heat Wave with weak armor boosted speed. Gothita managing to crit kill Geo's Bullaby with Thunderbolt was also pretty bad. And then Corfish, suffering from the Toxic Spike's poison attack, was too crippled to really do anything and suffered an S-punch from Poniard to lose to it and win TNK the game.
Yeah, I thought Corfish could have maybe brought it back, but nope.
The Toxic Poison. The Toxic Spike's poison was the ultimate decider there.
Yep.
And PU, yeah, this was kind of expected TNK would take this one because he...
yeah, I think that's more his tier, I think.
Yeah, because Sneasel got to beat off Scyther.
Oh wait, no, Yu is his tier, actually.
Well, PU, he looks strong against Geov. In this PU game, he looks strong. Because Sneasel got to beat off Scyther with a knockoff and triple axle. Colossal killed Meloetta after Articuno critted it with U-turn. Zoroark then tried to reverse sweep for Geov as it killed Colossal and flinching to kill the Goodra with Dark Pulse. That was pretty lucky. But Rotom outsped and killed it with Thunderbolt. Sneasel finished off Tauros at the end to win. Her Ice Shard killed it.
Yep.
So yeah, decent wins from TNK. Maybe if he got stronger opponents, maybe he could look better. But poor Geov, I really feel bad for her.
Well, speaking of looking better, he already played for this week and won.
So don't spoil it. Jesus Christ, we're only in the midway point of this video. Not to give spoilers away. Next up, we have Not and Hacker versus Wildfire. We were going into this thinking, okay, maybe Not and Hacker is a little, as we say, not keeping up with the meta as we saw in past BLT, but he definitely proved his worth here. He definitely proved his worth here against Wildfire. Because Ryu started off, he did pretty well. Wildfire tried to get an early opening by Terra stealing the Hippowdon to beat Zapdos Galar via Ice Fang. However, Yanmega became a problem. Terra / flinching Milotic and Terra ground Okoing Fezandipity, sacrificing Gardevoir to heal Milotic off with Healing Wish. Which, it was the ideal play, but like, Milotic isn't gonna do jack. Especially when Volcanion is out. And then Hacker played the remaining parts of this game well. Yanmega coming back in to finish off Rotom Mo with Bug Buzz, letting Milotic run out of recovers, which was a good strat on Hacker's part. Yes, the Steam Eruption. Yeah, you're missing out on Steam Eruption because you're trying to recover, make Milotic lose all his recovers to then beat Conkeldurr with Air Slash and Revavroom getting the final kill on Milotic for Hacker to win the game. Very good play from Hacker here.
Yeah, but like some of those little bits of like the flinch.
Okay, you did get pretty lucky at some things.
Yeah, those little bouts of luck were pretty unfortunate for Wildfire.
LC wasn't much better, despite, yeah, the Hackers team is Sun related, but I like the look of Wildfire's team because of the Zorua. But it didn't prove it to be a successful one, because Hacker played this off right from the get-go. Really started to play off well, beating Vullaby with Brave Bird, and despite getting burned by Will-O-Wisp, managed to beat Zorua with Meanfuse knockoff, even dodging Wildfire's own high jump kick attempt at turn 13. That was really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Cottony then Terra Fired, beating Tinkatink with Terra Blast, and set up Sunny Day to allow Bulbasaur to set up growth and beat Terra Dragon Marine with Weather Ball. I thought that was it was a nice like sequence here. Bulbasaur getting to Sleep Powder the Marini and then setting up growth a lot to beat it with Weather Ball of all things. Also got nice rolls out of it. So good on Hacker for utilizing that Bulbasaur under Sun to pick up the victory. Next up, we have Fragments versus Rofna, the penultimate game that went in 2. Why? Oh, Rofna played better. And
well, for one of the games anyway, yes.
Rofna played better, but there was hacks. There was a little bit of hacks. Especially in the first... Okay. It was very evident from the first few turns of the doubles game, which is game 1, because from the get-go we had Fragments setting up the Como and Ogerpon, and you think, okay, this is pretty good. This is a pretty good setup, and going up against screens, very nice. But then Volcanion decided to Heat Wave, crit the Ogerpon, and burn the Como-O. Really crippling that Como-O a lot, as it had the Iron Defense body press strat.
That burn straight up may have cost Frags the game, yeah.
It did, because he was well preserving it all too well, but then that burn happened. That was very, very bad. Moltres Galar then utilized its Berserk Nasty Plot strat to tank hits under screens and dodge Bleakwind Storm to kill the Tornadus. And then, after Moltres died to a flinch rock slide and Como-O's body press, screens and Trick Room were both set up pretty nicely on Rofna's side to allow the Belly Drum Iron Hands to appear, and Sinistcha crit killed Arcanine with Machagacha before beating Goldengo at the end to win the game.
Yep.
Fragments suffered a lot of hacks.
Yeah, Frags played better. Frags played better here, but the hacks was pretty bad.
And then Monotype came next, and it was same 6. This is not TPP. This is not TPP anymore. It's same 6 mono. Alright, game started off quick and easy, with Iron Shreds critting the Heatran with knockoff before dying to an Oko Lava Plume. Why aren't people running Sash Iron Shreds? I feel like if Sash Iron Shreds were a thing, I think it would make it even more viable.
I think Sash Iron Shreds is more of a thing in other tiers, so it can be like a Sash lead, Sash Rocks lead.
I think it would work well in mono too. That was the recurring thought in my brain. That was the recurring thought in my brain. I thought Sash Iron Shreds would work wonders.
No, it's not used for a Sash lead because
there was already
having a Steel ground type on a Steel team is quite good, I think. Because it allows you to hit opposing Steels. It's something that... What?
Excadrill.
Well, yeah, but isn't Iron Treads actually faster than that?
It is faster by 11 points.
Exactly.
Anyway,
and it gets a lot of the same utility.
Anyway, we had the Scizor and the Goldango stalling out the recovers and paralysis that went on for way too long.
Yeah, I just wanted Frags to get a para, man.
And he did.
Or no, 2 paras, because clearly 1 wasn't enough.
He did get 1. He get the one that was kind of crucial, which is good. Rafna continued the momentum from then on, with Skarmory getting to kill Archaludon with Body Press.
Although I have to wonder, couldn't Fragments, when the Scizor got really low, like 16-17% health, couldn't Fragments have switched in Skarmory just so it dies to Helmet rather than parafishing?
I guess that would be good, but I guess he just wanted to, because he would run out of recovers at that point, so he was thinking, I'd probably sack the Goldango instead for later, for Skarmory to just later do things, I guess. I don't know.
No, in my opinion, keeping Goldango around is good because, like, you have a switch in for opposing Skarmory.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, Goldango killed Fragments of Skarmory. Heatran netted the final 2 kills on the Iron Shards and the Scizor. At the end, Rafna took the win.
That was Scarf Heatran.
It was Scarf Heatran. That was very well. That was good. Very well utilized. And then finally, surprising but not really, when you actually look at it, we had Tempo de Anguria beating Balor in 2.
I think it being in 2 is surprising, regardless of what you just said.
Well, what was the thing? Ubers look really strong for Tempo. I really do think Ubers look really strong for Tempo here, because the start was pretty nice. Critting Deoxys with Shadow Sneak and paralyzing it with Thunder Wave was nice. And Ho-Oh getting to tank the Koraidon Scale Shot attempt with Sub before killing it with Brave Bird netted him to a complete good advantage. Balor then tried blocking off the Koraidon's close combat attempt by Terra Ghosting the Arcus Ground, and King Gambit getting to kill off the Arc Fairy with Iron Head, bringing that advantage back. However, turn 27 came, where the Eternatus netted a crit Fire Blast kill onto the King Gambit. And yes, it was under Sun, but it was still very unfortunate.
Did it matter if it was under Sun?
It didn't, probably, but I would just like to point it out that it was a crit. And then Kyogre, Oko, Zacian with Water Spout, Terra Ghost, Giratina beat Balor's Eternatus by the end, with Poltergeist and Shadow Sneak winning the game for Tempo. I'm surprised that he ended off with Terra Ghost Giratina, of all things, but it was the most useful mon left.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it get used before.
I mean, I've seen it used before, but I've never really pegged it as, like, a strong mon to bring, especially if it's the offensive Terra Giratina, but still, good one.
Besides, it needs to tank Dynamax Cannon anyway.
That's true. OU was next, and Tempo definitely had the advantage with this one. Beating Balor's Samurott by dodging its Ceaseless Edge attempt on turn 7. Rocky Helmet Landorus tanked the Razor Shell in order to kill it, with Roaring Moon following up the kill with Landorus. Then Pecharunt was able to beat Dragonite with Terra Fairy and Malignant Chain, confusing and poisoning it before parting shot and recovering its health nicely to allow it to die via poison. And then turn 24 happened, where King Gambit landed a pretty crucial Kyoto Cleave. On the Petarant, which able to... Actually, wait. Oh, it was turn 43 where he got the very crucial Kyoto Cleave, where Tempo got to hit it and it did a crit, causing it to fall to 52% HP. Tempo would then just outplay Balor for the rest of the game, with the final turns having Iron Valiant kill King Gambit with close combat, knocking off Petarant. Tempo won by that point.
Yeah, although I think I pointed this out that Balor should have what one was it that I said he should tear? King Gambit, right?
It was probably King Gambit.
Let's see. I said he should tear a ghost in front of the King Gambit. Tear a ghost the King Gambit in front of the Valiant, I meant.
To prevent the close combat.
Just in case he close combated, yeah.
You would run the risk of Kyoto
Which
Cleave,
he
but
did.
Still. You would run the risk of Kyoto Cleave coming back in, but still, okay.
But no, he has Sucker Punch. He could just, in theory, win the mind games.
So yeah, that was round 1. Really lengthy, but we had a lot of things to say about all these games, admittedly. It will get longer, trust me. So, who won predicts?
I hope not. Well, the winner predicts was you, Mikoi.
I actually did well for a change, because I got those 2 predicts from Rofna and Brain were the ones that clutched it for me. And you.
Yeah, but you also,
and you. So, yeah.
And me.
So, yeah. How many did I got?
You got 12 out of 16.
75%. Very nice. Who got second?
The pick actually got second with 10 out of 16.
And you scored?
Third with 9 out of 15.
Which is still pretty respectable. Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, now let's find...
I didn't do that much worse than pick. I got 60%. Pick got like 62.
Yes. But everyone else did bad. Everyone else did bad.
No, not everyone else, but
mid.
We had quite a few people who did bad.
He had quite a few people did bad. Most people did mid, but yeah, most of them felt bad. So, I actually lead in predicts this time. A little shameless self-bragging before we head into round 2 predicts, where the scores may be a little more skewed. Let's move on now to round 2 predicts.
Okay.
First off, the winners bracket. Remember, this is a double elimination tournament, so there is a winners and a losers bracket. So first off in the winners bracket, we have number 1 seed, Let's Rumble Shall We, facing off against the number 16 seed, Tempo de Anguria.
This is gonna be one of the closest matches this week,
I
think.
You think it's one of the closest? I think this is the closest matchup this week.
Yeah,
this is
what you just said, yes.
This is the closest match. Both players do look strong in their respective tiers, and both had pretty good wins against their respective opponents. So, this one is about to be the highlight match of the week. And I fully expect this to be a 3-game series, especially with the tiers.
Agree.
Especially with the tiers that they have locked, which are Ubers, RU, and PU.
Ooh, this sounds good.
They're also playing on Saturday, 8 a.m. GMT plus 6, so 10 o'clock for me.
8 a.m. plus 6. Oh, okay.
So 10 o'clock Saturday a.m. time for me. So I can catch this and be done with it.
So is that 10 p.m. Friday for me?
Yes, it is, actually. Alright.
Nice. That's a good time.
So I think Tempo will take Ubers, and I think Hellray will take PU. It's just RU that's gonna be very crucial, but I think Hellray wins in tiers. Hellray does win in tiers, but Tempo could easily win if he plays better and he has good prep. So, who are you picking? Okay, Art. You decide.
I think I'm going with Hellray.
You think tier-wise? Do you think the tier-wise will help him?
Yeah.
Alright. I'm gonna say Tempo. I think Tempo is gonna be... he loses tier-wise, but I think... he'll be able to pass on that skill, and he'll be able to adapt well if he gets, like I said, he gets that good team in, he gets that good support in, he gets that good prep in. I think Tempo has a chance of beating Hellray.
Oh, of course he does, but I just think Hellray.
I'm picking...
I think skill-wise, they're really close. So that's why I favor Hellray because of the tiers.
I'm picking Tempo. And what does Pick say?
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
Tempo, huh? Yeah, so it's agreeing with me. But Hellray could take this because he does have the tier advantage. So I'm not going to be surprised if Hellray wins. It's more of a 60-40, I guess. But I'm favoring Tempo.
No, more like a 45-55, if anything.
Oh, that's real close. It's close.
Exactly!
It is this close. Next up, we have PokeEra 2004 versus Terracotta. Well, it's not going to be as close as Let's Rumble Shalvey versus Tempo de Anguria, but...
Yeah.
But, you know, you still have a chance, I think. I think you still have a chance.
Oh, yeah. I pulled some interesting stuff in the past. I don't know how many people remember. Like, those who were there for it a few years ago, they might remember. I've beaten Arsenine. I've beaten Arsenine in TLT before.
It wasn't
I can pull upsets.
It wasn't a loser's bracket, but yes, she has beaten Arsenine. She has beaten players like Arsenine in the past, so... PokeArt is
players like Arsenine, no, Arsenine's probably the best player I've beaten.
So, but that was a nice feather in your cap. And I think you're going to beat, well, you have a fighting chance against Terracotta.
Yeah, my point is I can pull upsets because I can play surprisingly well under pressure.
Yes, you definitely have that mentality of playing under clutch a lot. So, yeah. Although Terracotta is Terracotta is kind of... Despite the fact, yes, he beat Vaporeon's round 1. It's not
Vaporeon's isn't that good.
Yeah, it was not an impressive win as you beating Penter, but, like... Out of the two, I'm sorry, but I think Terracotta may be the better player. Just edges it out in terms of playing. So, and also, he just edges you out in tiers, man. Like, Ubers and PU is too strong. Terracotta is too strong. I mean,
yeah,
you have
I'm
doubles.
not that strong in either of those, so odds are he'll win in whatever he locks.
And you could lock probably doubles against him, but or LC because
I'm not really sure what I'm gonna lock.
You haven't locked tiers yet, which okay. You are very
slow. He has contacted me. We're talking in DMs, but we're in no rush to lock or schedule because Bro cannot play till the weekend anyway.
Alright, so we are getting a John. We are getting a guaranteed John to the weekend.
Yeah, he literally can't play until the weekend. He does not have internet in his home.
That's fine. That leaves both of you to do prep work. So,
I don't even know how much prep he'll be able to do without internet in his place, but yeah, that helps me, I guess.
If you can prep, that is, and not last-minute prep like you did with Spencer.
It might be a little tough this week, because I'm still studying for midterms, and Halloween is also on Thursday.
Happy Halloween, everyone. Alright, so, in terms of picking, I have to say it, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go with Terracotta on this one.
As are most people, I think, except Colored Name for some reason.
He's just not confident in you, man. That confident in you.
Yeah, he's played me before in quals. I guess he thinks I guess he has a high opinion of me.
That's good. I mean, that's good for your morale.
Yes, yes, it is. And
does the pick boost your morale even more, though?
Let's see. I don't really think I win this either, even though that's kind of what I thought about myself versus Penter. Although I feel much less confident here. I don't think I win. I think I can take it to 3.
You think you can? I think you can. I think you have a good chance of taking it to 3. Might be hard, but yeah.
The pick supports me.
I told you. Pick. I told you the morale is there.
My supporter from day 1.
The morale is there.
Just like Colored Name.
Next up, a matchup that already happened, actually. Taking Notes Kinda versus SV Allure. Which TNK actually won. Again, we mentioned this because Pokeyard admittedly spoiled it. But yes, TNK won earlier today or yesterday, I don't know. But they played very.
Oh yeah, I think it was it yesterday?
It was probably yesterday. Yes, it definitely was yesterday because I know the matchup that happened today. But I would have picked Taking Notes Kinda, honestly. Valor.
I would have also picked Taking Notes Kinda.
Valor did look good against Bokoa, but I think Taking Notes Kinda looked more promising in his win against Geov. So, yeah, I was going to pick TNK regardless.
Yeah, I was too.
And did Pick do the same?
Yeah, actually.
So we're all in agreement in TNK.
Yeah, because he already won.
Next up, oh boy, I don't know what to call anymore. Wesh Papillon versus LCAP KD.
Uh-oh.
After the bullshittery that was round 1, LCAP actually has a decent chance of beating Wesh.
Yeah, taking in LCAP's RNG.
Yes, he can actually win against Pap.
Much see it going LCAP's way.
Pap is 100 times the better
skill, and if LCAP yeah.
Go on.
You said what I was gonna say.
Yeah, 100 times the player that LCAP is Pap. Pap absolutely clobbers him in a serious matchup. Then there's the RNG again. But I am going with Pap. I am not that boneheaded in picking LCAP in this one. I actually want to go with Pap.
Papillon.
Oh no, Pokeyard, are you going for LCAP? You didn't say your predict.
I'm putting in the pick at the moment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think.
Oh my god. Why does the pick keep doing this?
It's picking LCAP.
Why is the pick doing this again?
This
is the second time the pick is picking LCAP.
And he actually did. He actually got the point last time, so you should be scared.
Yes, and so did Yoko.
Oh, no, that's really scary. Okay, that is really scary.
Yeah, that's horrifying.
Yeah, that's really scary. No. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm putting Pap, obviously.
Well, we're all putting Pap on this one. Next up, we have Colored Name.
Except Pick. Pick's going LCAP.
You trust the LCAP? I mean, it is RNG, and it is RNG manipulation. Next up, we have.
Oh yeah, of course. Pick like Del Cap. Then it's randomly. Yeah, it's RNG.
Next up, we have Colored Name versus Ruffna. Two players
Oh my
actually.
God.
Actually, you know what? No, I'm not gonna downplay this game. This one is actually looks promising for Colored Name.
Exactly. You were planning on downplaying it?
I was thinking of downplaying it, but no, actually, no. Colored Name actually has a decent chance over here because Rafna. Yes, Rafna may look to be the more like notable player. He's gotten all this fame from OMMs and whatnot, and transitioning into the singles tiers, he did very well. And he did well against Fragments once in round one. But Colored Name actually has potential to probably take this into 3 games. So,
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to 3.
yeah, and it looks very good. Oh, frick, we forgot to mention the tiers that they're going to be playing. Well, Cap and Wesh are playing Ubers, RU, and UU in Saturday 1 p.m. -4. Rafna and Colored Name, they'll play LC, Monotype, and Ubers.
Yeah, see, Mikoi, and you were saying earlier that LC is one of Colored Name's weaker tiers. They
No, it's the
literally
strongest.
locked LC this time too.
No, this is the strongest. What? Well, Rafna is actually Rafna's competent in LC as well. I see.
Isn't Rafna competent in literally everything?
He's competent. He's an all-arounder for a reason. But
Baby
LC,
doubles.
he's competent in nearly everything. He's versatile that way. But I think LC is another one of those cases where he's competent. But Mono is his lock. Mono is the strongest tier here, and then definitely is a good choice. Yeah.
I never consider Mono a good choice, but I guess if Rafna is really confident in it.
They're playing Sunday, 8 to 9 p.m. -11, plus 11. So, who do we go here? Who do we actually go here?
I'm going Rafna.
I'm also going Rafna. Like, despite the fact that Colored Name has potential to beat him, and I'd be very impressed if he does, Rafna, I think, has much more of a momentum game. I think Ubers will decide it.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, I think Colored Name probably takes LC.
He does, but Rafna will win the other 2. Okay, who's picks, buddy?
Let's see. Pick color.
Rafna. Okay, so we're all in agreement for Rafna.
Yep.
Next up, we have Arcanine 1929 versus Polio Ariosto. So, Arcanine versus Polo Ariosto. I don't think they updated their I don't think they updated the tiers that they're going to be playing, but I saw in the thread that they're. Oh, okay. So they have updated it. It was originally DOU, LC, and the last tier will be RU. Actually, this seems very decided in terms of tier wise because Arcanine's good in doubles. And Polo is very good at LC. And Arcanine just kind of takes RU. So you'd think that this would be an Arcanine advantage.
Yeah.
And I'm going to agree. I really don't have anything. Polo can't. I don't think Polo's strengths in RU and doubles will be able to carry it. So yeah, I think Arcanine wins.
I also feel like maybe Polo isn't quite as good as we thought. I mean, sure they won last week, but I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it was.
It wasn't that
anything
impressive.
Super great.
Yeah, it wasn't that impressive of a win. Arcanine did look stronger. I will agree.
Yeah, the tiers look better for Arcanine, so I will agree with you.
I'll say Arcanine as well. So what does Pick say?
The pick agrees with us again.
It's been very generous to us. Arcanine will win. Next up, probably a matchup that a lot of people will think is very close. It's okay, I guess. We had Excelsior versus Not and Hacker. They're going to be playing UU, LC, and PU. So
okay, wait. Aren't those the exact same tiers Excelsior played last week?
It was. I think it was. Yes, it was.
That's funny.
Yes, it was. And Excelsior is favored in all three, I think. So yeah, I think this should be an Excelsior win.
Normally I thought this looks like it could be close, but after hearing the tiers, I no longer really think that.
Excelsior wins. It's better players, look stronger.
Excelsior should have this, but I wouldn't be surprised if non-hacker wins. He ain't bad.
He ain't bad, but like comparing this,
I feel like he was better in the past, but it's not like he's bad.
Yeah, he ain't bad. It's just
I feel like these two are around similar playing skill.
That's probably why a lot of people think this would be very close. It's okay. It's okay. Anyway, next up. Oh, did Pick say that? What did Pick say?
Pick agreed with us again.
Man, it's been agreeing with us a lot. Next up. Now you see why I called you guys in the intro clout chasing simps, because these are the two that are most clout chasey and the most simpy. The Brain Damage Haver versus Batty Games.
The heck did Batty do to earn
no,
that
people
insult?
Are freaking. Jeez. Actually, no, people are. People have been hyping up Batty somewhat. You don't see it.
Yeah, but I think he actually deserves it, though.
You think he deserves it? I think he's on the cusp of maybe overhyping himself, but he's good. But I won't take. It's not to decredit him. I think he's a good player.
Yeah, and people are just hyping up. He might run the risk. Anything himself.
Yeah, he might run the risk.
Brain feeds it, though.
Yeah, Brain definitely feeds it, though. Brain feeds off suffers from the overhype. But I think Batty's good. I think Batty is a good player. He's very decent. They haven't locked tiers yet, as far as I'm aware. But
I don't think it'll matter what tiers they lock.
Oh, you think it's going to be a domination?
I think it should be, yes.
I think it's also a domination. I think Batty is going to wipe the floor with Brain Damage Haver.
And the pick agrees with both of us again.
Yeah, it's even the pick is smarter than most of the people who sip for Brain. It's Batty. Next up, so that was the winner's bracket. So let's move on now to the loser's bracket. Balor versus Street Boom, first of all. Number 17 seed versus number 32 seed. Have they locked tiers? Yes, they have. We have
What are they playing?
Ubers, OU, and NU. Street Boom locked Ubers. Yes. Why? Don't ask. But yeah.
This is probably one of those cases where he's just locking what he feels he's good at rather than locking what the opponent might be weak in.
No, this is hard because it's Balor, Pokeart. It is Balor. He's strong in pretty much anything. If anything, like Street. What would Streak feasibly lock against Balor when he's pretty much good in every other tier that Streak can maybe feasibly play?
I don't think there really is an answer for Street.
Yeah, there isn't. I think this is gonna be a 2-game series. Sorry, Street, but Balor is gonna win. Unless he gets
isn't close.
tempoed,
This
but
is less close than last week.
yeah, the matchup with tempo was hard for Balor. This one should be a nice little break for him. So Balor to win.
Yeah.
And this pick agree.
Pick agrees.
Next up, this is the matchup that actually happened today, which is Penter versus Vaporeons. And Penter won. In two?
Into very dominantly.
It was
literally 6-0'd in the first game.
He bodied him 100%. For poor Vaporeon. See, I do feel bad for the guy. It was clear that he wanted to prep hard against Panther, but he just couldn't. He was angry. Pokeart beat him. So
what do you mean? It was clear he wanted to prep hard versus Penter if they played on a Tuesday.
Well, he was trying. In the course of the game, he felt like he was trying when we were watching it live.
You can prep mid-game.
No, not mid-game, like before the game.
How do you know?
He was talking a lot in chat. He was talking a lot in chat.
What did he say?
I don't know. Just feeling like he could maybe take Penter to 3. I don't know. But
it doesn't sound like you have anything that indicates that.
I have nothing to say. Penter just bodied him. He was angry that you beat him, so that's all I can really say.
He was mad he lost in doubles and took out all of that rage on Vaporeons.
You beat him in doubles and you, the tiers you beat him in, so
yeah.
That is very funny in hindsight. Yeah, Penter.
Complete opposite of what happened. Complete opposite of what happened last week.
I would have picked Penter regardless. Like even
big time.
It wasn't very close at all, especially with the tiers they locked, which the other one was RU. Which Penter kind of cleans Vaporeons.
Maybe that was Vaporeons. I think RU was probably Vaporeons lock. Because Penter doesn't like RU, so he would probably ban it otherwise.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Penter wins. Would pick have agreed.
I wonder. Let's see.
Holy shit, the pick has been very, very helpful lately.
Not helpful. It's just very agreeable right now.
It's very nice to us. Next up, we have How Play Pokemon, aka Bakoa versus G of 97. Oh please. Hopefully this isn't the same case as last week. Oh please.
My guess is her week should be a bit more open. I imagine the stuff going on is probably not quite as bad this week as it was last week when her house literally flooded.
So yeah, very unfortunate. Hopefully she is safe. Hopefully everyone else is safe. But yeah, they haven't locked tiers as far as I'm concerned. But like, I'm more than confident.
They have 2 out of 3 decided actually.
Which are
LC and PU.
Bakoa locked PU. Interesting.
Yeah, oddly.
All right, so I think Geo.
The third tier might be OU.
You think
They've not decided on it yet, but it's sounding like that might be what it ends up being.
I'm thinking Geo. I want her to be confident more. Like, yeah, the taking notes kind of game did feel like Geo was unmotivated, but like she can still play well, and I think people are just underestimating her a little bit because, you know, she kind of didn't look good last week. So, yeah, Geo.
Well, yeah, they're also underestimating her because they don't know her quite as well as we do. Like,
She's been around for she's been around for as long as us. So yeah.
Yeah, she's been playing
Probably
competitive as long as both of us have.
Probably longer.
She started around when I started, maybe a bit before that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe even before that. So people are really underhanding Geo. But she is doing better. She is doing better as of recently. So, which is good. So Geo, everyone's going Geo.
Hopefully.
Everyone's going Geo here.
I'm going Geo. You're going. I'm going Geo. You're going Geo. I don't know what the pick says though. Let's see what the.
It's picking Boko, isn't it? Frick.
Yeah, it is.
So first betrayal in a while, huh? Pick.
Yep.
Next up, a matchup I really didn't expect it to be losers bracket material, but here we are. Blood Ace versus One Last Kiss.
Well, okay, I'm not surprised Blood Ace is here so early given his first round matchup, but One Last Kiss should not be here.
Literally one of our two top players, and both of our top two players are in losers bracket, maybe three. So yeah, One Last Kiss.
Yeah, like most of the top players are in losers right now.
One Last Kiss versus Blood Ace. They haven't locked tiers as far as I'm concerned, but hopefully that will get posted. And yeah, advantage-wise, One Last Kiss. Playing-wise, One Last Kiss. Potential-wise, One Last Kiss.
Yeah, no question here.
One Last Kiss to win. I really can't say anything more than that. Like, One Last Kiss wins here.
The GOAT.
What does the pick agree with us and say that One Last Kiss? We should have One Last Kiss.
The pick seems to really like usernames that start with B.
Okay.
It's been picking all of them.
Okay. Well, Brain Damage versus Batty, that isn't hard, but still, you're right.
Well, that's two B's.
I know. You're guaranteed a B.
But yeah, it picked Valor, it's picking Bako, now it's picking Blood Ace.
Alright. Next up, another matchup I didn't really expect to be losers bracket material, but again, here we are. It's Keshba versus Fragments.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's been really bad. The matchups have been less than ideal, but here we are. They have locked tiers. As far as I'm concerned. Who knows when they'll play, but the tiers that I got were OU, LC, and doubles.
OU, LC, doubles.
I feel
sounds like all three of Fragments' best tiers.
Yeah, I feel like Fragments has the overwhelming advantage tier-wise. I don't know how much Keshba will actually do here. Like, Keshba's good, but like, against Fragments in all three, I don't see him winning one. I think this will be a 2-game series, and Fragments will just clobber him.
I wouldn't be surprised if Keshba wins one somehow. It's just
somehow, but I don't know what it is.
I don't think he's winning.
Yeah, I don't think he's winning either. Like, as much as we want to praise this as this is a hype match, I don't think it is, guys. So Fragments wins.
Yeah, it should be a Fragments game. If Fragments isn't too unmotivated.
Fragments will definitely be... Well, he was planning to quit, but then he did say that he saw the matchup and said, oh, Keshba, maybe I'll stay on for a little longer. So...
Yeah, bro wants to kill Keshba.
Well, what does Pick say? Does it agree in wanting to kill Keshba?
It doesn't agree, my bad.
It doesn't agree. It wants Keshba to at least get some monicum of success. Alright. Next up. Matchup I'm really not excited for. We have Ryosoken versus EQ and Crit. Two players who have looked bad in their first encounters.
EQ and Crit didn't look that bad.
You were the one who kept shitting on him for his whack choices and team builds.
Yeah, but like he didn't look bad, as you say.
Well, he got
He looked great.
No.
He didn't really look great, but
well, I'm not the most confident.
He didn't look bad.
Well, I'm not the most confident in EQ and Crit. Ryosoken, I guess, is more favored here. Let's see. They didn't lock tiers, but yeah. As much as, well, who are you gonna pick?
I'll pick Ryosoken, but I wouldn't be surprised if EQ and Crit wins.
I'll be very surprised if EQ and Crit wins. I'm going Ryosoken.
I think this is closer than you think, but I'm going Ryosoken as well.
You think so, huh? Alright.
Yeah, I mean, EQ and Crit almost stole a game from Polo.
Almost didn't cut it, even though he did get hacks at one point. I don't think it was threatening at all. But yeah, Ryosoken to win. Does Pick agree?
Let's see.
They're 7th and 10th seeds too, which boggles my mind. That they're high. They are seated this high, but that's fine. That's just the nature of the seeding.
Grinders.
They are grinders. They both are seated well.
It agrees.
It agrees with all of us. Alright. Next up, the first matchup of the ones that were played out, actually. It was CBK versus Wildfire. This literally got played minutes after the thread gets posted.
Yeah.
They literally played 5:05 EST, and this was played, what? 3:35? So it was an hour after the thread gets posted. They already locked tiers. They already wanted to play. They already decided. The tiers that they locked were OU, PU, and UU. And CBK lost in 2, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, CBK lost in 2. And it wasn't very good. Well, I think it didn't look very good. So, I was picking going into this. I was picking CBK, but that was a very
You were?
Yeah, that was a very reluctant pick for CBK because I don't think both players.
I wasn't sure, but I was leaning Wildfire.
I'll take the L. I really thought CBK, at least them with having experience at least. Performing in team tours and tours such as this, they could have maybe taken off a win here, but yeah, after seeing that, I lost confidence immediately. So, yeah, I'll take the L. I chose CBK, but that was a very reluctant predict for CBK.
Perhaps my opinion got a little swayed when I saw someone else's predicts for this match, and I'm not referring to anyone on the thread. Giev shared her predicts with me soon after the round went up. Actually, no, before the round went up, she shared her predicts because obviously, thanks to Bracket, you can already see the matchups.
Mm-hmm.
And she predicted Wildfire to win, and I wasn't really sure. Who would win. I just said I think it'll be. I just said I think it'll be closer than other people think, but I understand the opinion.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll just say I went with Wildfire because that's who I was leaning.
And what does Pick say?
Let's see what Pick says. The Pick would have agreed with you.
So we both took the L. Alright, that was a necessary L. And finally, a matchup that a lot of people are very excited for if you're a Tours main. The Iron Pikachu versus Seru. Both boy. Well, Iron Pikachu's a girl. I forget.
Yeah. Why did you happen to say?
I just really like the word boy a lot. I just really like using boy a lot. Maybe I'll call you guys it next time. Girls who play Showdown. Who'd have thought? Who thought that? Anyway, Iron Pikachu versus Seru should be a fun one. They did lock tiers. Iron Pikachu locked doubles after the very questionable game that was Brain versus Iron Pikachu. Iron Pikachu decided to lock doubles.
What?
Mm-hmm. I think.
All right, Sarah wins.
I think. Actually, let me. Never mind. I was gonna be funny in saying that Iron Pikachu locked doubles, but okay.
Yeah, he said he needs to practice for doubles World Cup.
So Iron Pikachu locked LC. Sorry, okay, I misspoke. But
to
that would
my
be really
knowledge,
fun.
Zero is actually good at LC, though.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I remember very clearly. I think he locked it last time, so that why.
He locked it last week. Yes.
So Sarah wins. Like, I'm not even gonna hype it up. I think Sarah just wins, even though Ipika maybe can take LC if it's not like the LC that she's currently counseling at. But like, Sarah just wins normally, singles wise and doubles wise. I think Sarah just wins.
I think so too. I wasn't super impressed after Ipika's performance last week.
Especially when we waffled against the Brain one. Alright, so yeah, what does pick say?
The pick says... Pikachu. It says the Iron Pikachu.
It's confident. It can take on Iron Pikachu. Okay. So that is the end of the predicts and the video. Good God, we recorded for 2 hours. This is only gonna get longer from here. If you guys actually play 3 games, I will kill you all. I'm sorry. Alright, so thank you all for watching. Please like this video, leave a comment, subscribe for more. Click that notification bell so you won't miss a video once it comes out. And I'll see you next week when we talk about round 2 recap, round 3 predicts. We are going to start eliminating people, and may the best man
We already
win.
have, actually.
We are going to start eliminating people as soon as this thread gets updated, but like, yeah. We are going...
Like, CBK's out, Vaporeon's is out.
And the other one was played in the winner's bracket. So,
yes.
Alright, thank you all for watching. This has been McCoy, signing out.
Bye-bye.